Hello, hello, hello. It's Aja of freedomsupply society.com, and I am so super excited to talk to you guys today. And the multi-passionate entrepreneur world is something that I think that a lot of us actually struggle with. And actually, one day last week, someone actually posed a question that was along this line of what we're going to be talking about today on my Facebook page. So I thought that this is just excellent. It's like right on time. And the subject is about how to stop getting hung up on what to offer as a multi-passionate entrepreneur, as a multi-creative, as a multi-hyphenated, whichever title you claim to be. It's perfectly fine. I'm going to group us all in being a multi-passionate entrepreneur. And I want to offer you three ways that you can, it's kind of like steps, 3 steps, we'll call it that. 3 steps that help you to move the needle in getting that out of the way, because that's not ever a space that we want to be in, with having to figure out what it is that we're going to offer, because we have so many things going on in our business that we are loving to do, that we think are great, that we want the world to know about, because it's something that they need and they will definitely want to have. And I've been in that position too. And so I want to share with you some of the things that I did that really, really helped me to move out of it. You ready? All right, let's go. So number one is having a look at what's really hanging you up. And the reason why this is number one is because a lot of times what we do is we develop a criteria for how we make decisions based off of what other people have taught us, based off of who we believe that we are and who we believe that we're not, right? And also, of course, being in this online space, there's a lot of coaches, there's a lot of business coaches, there's a lot of life coaches, there's a lot of consultants and strategists that have their own type of techniques and methods for how to do particular things, right? So all of this information is out there for us. So how are we going to decide which one of those methods is right for us to use? And so we bring this information in, and then we start to use it, whether it's like someone that we're paying for information from, coaching support or whatever, or a book that we read or a video that we're watching like this one. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that you've taken this information in and you've decided that this is what you're going to use as the criteria for how you make decisions. Let me get some water. As multi-passionate entrepreneurs, this is never the case for us. This is never the criteria. It's never the way that we should be making our decisions based off of what non-multi-passionate entrepreneurs are telling us to do. Now, that doesn't mean that it's always that way, but especially in the beginning, and especially if you're having this hang up, then you need to kind of like drop it all. And again, even if you're not just starting out, you need to bring it back and drop everything as if you are starting out, because this problem needs to be solved at the foundational level. It's not something that you can just continue to move through. You need to stop and build this part of the foundation, which is you really understanding that this hang up that you're having more than likely is coming from a space of, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, because this is what I was taught. And it may be useful, that information that you were taught may be useful for you later on, but not right now. Right now, I'm building this foundation of you deciding and looking at what the right criteria is for you to use. Then you really have to let that go. And again, I can't say this enough, that it doesn't mean that that information is wrong and that you won't be using it ever, ever, ever. It just means that right now that's not going to be part of the criteria that you're going to be using for creating your amazing decision-making process. So have a look at really like why and what are you using to make your decisions. And a lot of that also too, when you think about what your hang up is it comes down to you believing that you're going to offer this particular thing over here instead of offering this particular thing over here, because you believe it's going to make you more money. And of course, that is a lot of what is taught out here, is you're only going to offer things that are really going to make you money. And that is not ever the case for a multi-passionate entrepreneur. And it comes also comes back down to your beliefs about yourself. Your beliefs, if you have a belief that whatever you touch turns to gold, and whatever sell is supposed to sell and what doesn't sell is not supposed to sell, then you get to make decisions from a different space, which is moving us into number 2. So now that you understand that, okay, I'm making decisions based off of someone else's criteria, and I'm probably looking at the money aspect. And I don't think there's anything wrong with money. I do all my stuff for the money, right? It's for the money, right? But at the forefront is, I'm going to make the things that I want to make because it makes me feel good. So whatever I make is about the money, right? So do you understand that correlation? Whatever it is that I'm creating because it's what I want to create. But also, like, on the side over here is what I want to do, but also on this other side over here, so we got our left and our right, or whichever way you're looking at the video, it's always about, I'm making what feels good to me, and I know that whatever I'm making, because it feels good to me, is going to create money. So that's just a belief that you have to build. And when you have that belief, then it comes down to you really moving into what feels good for you to offer that week, or even what feels good for you to offer that day. I know you've been taught that you need to have a whole business plan. You've been taught that you had to have a content calendar and a marketing schedule, right? Well, that's not really so much part of who we are as multi-passionate entrepreneurs, especially if you're having problems with what to offer. Then you have to throw all that stuff out the window. Like, literally, there's a quote that goes something like, you have to forget who you are in order to be who you want to be, or who you have to forget who you are to be who you are. And so you really have to throw all of that stuff out the window, because if you're having a problem with what it is that you're going to be offering, then you don't need to be focused on any kind of schedules and any kind of calendars, because you have to get back to a place of creating from a space of what it is that feels good to me, and offering what feels good for you to offer that day, that week. So don't look so far in advance. I remember someone telling me in a Facebook group that when I said something about, oh, you know what, I don't even want to market 30 days in advance because I just lose interest. And so this person told me, well, that's the way marketing works. But is it really, though? Is it really just the way that marketing works? Is that the way that you've been taught that that's the way that marketing works? So that's what you're telling everybody else. When, as multi-passionate entrepreneurs, we don't follow the same kind of linear marketing or content calendar type of pathways that they do. We just don't. And so we have to remove ourselves from that way of thinking. So give yourself the space and the time to form a schedule naturally. So, like, for example, I now understand what I get to do as far as the schedule is concerned. So the way that this got created is because I just allowed myself to do whatever I felt like it. And then I started to see a pattern. And that pattern is, and I think I've mentioned this on a couple other videos. And that's how important it is. I mentioned it a lot. And it is, I work on what it is I feel like working on. So I am creating emails. I'm not creating just one email. I'm creating 1 or 2 emails, maybe 3 or 4, and then I'm done for the month. If I'm working on a blog, then I'm probably not working on just one. I'm probably working on more than one, because that's what I'm in the mood to do. And if you are offering something that you really want to be offering, then you have to understand that that is twofold. The same thing as with me working on the emails when I feel like it, or working on my blog post when I feel like it. It's twofold, because number one, you get into the energy that is so exciting. And when you're in the energy and you're excited about something that is just like lighting you up, then you just want to go and tell everybody about it. Why does that need some kind of a marketing plan? You're fired up about it. You're lit up. You want to go tell the world. It's just like you got this new phone case, and it's just like, oh my gosh, this is the most awesome thing ever. You're going to tell everybody about it, and you're going to tell everybody why you love it, and you're going to tell everybody to go get it, and go get it right now. It's the same thing with your offer. You don't need to have a schedule in order to do that. So just consider that if you're being like in all of your feelings and allowing that to be part of how you make decisions, just think of the energy you're going to be in when you are out there talking about your offer. So that's number one. Number one is being in part of the twofold. Number one is being in the energy. It just puts you in the energy. And number two is you really get to see how things are creating a pattern for you. It really just gets to unfold. So that's going to roll us into number three. And that is putting yourself in spaces where people who actually understand your unique struggles, and more importantly, who really get your out of the box way of doing things and your unconventional desires and dreams that you have for your life. So when you're in those types of spaces and you're allowing yourself to experience the people and being supported by the people who really get you, like get yourself out of the spaces where these people are telling you that you need to have a marketing plan and a content calendar because that's the way that they do things. Get yourself in the spaces where of people who are actually leaning into who it is that they want to be and how they want to do things. And that's going to help you, like really, really help you. Like I remember when I first came out of the closet as a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I know it sounds funny, but I didn't have a circle of people who understood why I was the way that I was, why I do things the way that I do things. And that was pretty detrimental for me. Like I really had to do a lot of thought work, a lot of mindset work, and a lot of belief work because I didn't have like this community of help. So when you are normalizing how you make decisions because you're around people who are non-linears like you, who are multi-passionates like you, then it allows you to build so much self-trust and so much belief in and develop higher level decision-making skills because you're with people who really are doing the same thing. It's really important. Like community is so, so important. So I want you to really think about that. Are you around people who really get you and the way that you want to do things, the way that you are that your what appears to be like your crazy cuckoo way of thinking, like your flaws are literally your formula for freedom. So get yourself around people who are okay with the way that you want to live life, who are okay with the out of the box, unconventional way that you want to show up and the way that you want to do things. Oh my gosh, I think that I really don't need a content calendar and I really don't need a marketing plan and I really don't need to know right now, like what I'm scheduling out, what my offers are, because I get to just show up as my truth, as myself, and talk about the things that I want to talk about in the moment. Where are they talking about that at? Where are they? I need for you to understand how important it is to be around people who get that you don't have to do those things and that there is a different way of living and businessing. So it's going to be so very, very important for you to take that into consideration. So number one, we talked about looking at your true hangups and why are you really trying to make decisions based off of other people and their criteria for the way you need to set things up. Number two is not feeling like you have to create a schedule and have it all worked out. Like you don't have to know how. You just have to believe in the fact that what it is that you're offering is amazing and that it will make you money. You just need to start creating some beliefs, whether they're big, gigantic beliefs. I would say do not start there. Start with something you can actually believe. This product is awesome. You can start there. I love this, what I created. And like put yourself give yourself time to write all the things about why you like this particular offer, and then go out and tell people about it. Go share what it is that you wrote. I like this because it's clear with blue labels, whatever. It's like, whatever. Give yourself the opportunity to love what it is that you're creating and share it with whomever in whatever way that you want. You don't need a content calendar. You do not need to have the knowledge in this very moment of what it is that you're going to be offering. 2 weeks from now, you can know what you're offering today. And that is just as easy as what feels good for me to offer today. And then the third thing is what we talked about is putting yourself in the space with other people who are like-valued and like-minded. Get yourself out of those linear spaces and put yourself into the places and the spaces where the frequencies, where the vibe is like something like you can really get into, people who really understand your struggle as a multi-passionate entrepreneur And of course, your out of the box dreams. And like a lot of people are like, let's just say something like van life. I think I've mentioned this before. Van life is not something that everybody's interested in. So if you were interested in being around people who really believe in van life, then you go find a community for that. If you are someone who really like bottled water and this particular kind, whatever, then you go and find a community of people who like that same kind of thing. It's no different when it comes to business. If you're doing it in every area of your life, there's no reason for you to not do it in your business. Go find a community of people who are like-minded and like-valued like you, and just watch how quickly your self-esteem you build the self-trust and develop those high-level decision-making skills that you need to get out of, I don't know what I'm offering this week. All right, and if you don't have a community, then I want you to know that I've created a beautiful, beautiful space. It is a community focused, community driven space for multi-passionate entrepreneurs to come and support each other, to have inspiration, accountability. We're hopping on goal setting and planning sessions, and we're talking to each other about what we're creating. We're inspiring each other. We're supporting each other with whatever questions you have. If you want to brainstorm, like all of those different types of things, that's what we're doing over in this community. And it is more like a mastermind. It feels more like a mastermind because we're all here to support each other. Me included, I'm supporting, and I want to be supported as well. So I'm here for it. I hope that this is something that has been beneficial for you. And if you've learned something, then let me know what you learned. I'd love to hear about it. And please share this video with friends and family that you think would benefit as well. All right, y'all, I'm out. Thank you guys for being here. I love that you guys are here. And I will see you guys on the next one. Remember, life is happening now. Live free.